to the next session of Learn Before You Solve. In this video, we will understand about domino logic, which is the best solution for this cascading problem of dynamic gates. In the part 1 of the video, we have seen about the cascading problem in dynamic gates and we have discussed about the optimal solution, and now in second part of the video we will learn more in detail about the domino logic design, and we will try to implement our problem statement, which is f equal to a plus b dot c the whole bar through the domino logic and compute the number of transistors required. Domino logic is the basic solution for an NMOS cascading problem in dynamic logic, and here shows the general outline of the domino logic design. In domino logic, a static CMOS inverter is placed at the output of the dynamic logic block. So this we know very well that this is the first dynamic logic block, which is going to be cascaded with the next dynamic logic block. And initially in cascading the dynamic gates, we have seen only this directly cascaded to the input of the next dynamic logic. We would have noticed that there would be no presence of inverters in the dynamic logic design cascading. So here to avoid the problem in cascading of dynamic logic gates, the major problem that we have seen in cascading of dynamic gates is that the second output 2 will start to discharge before the first gate transition is complete. So the correct level will not be recovered until the next clock cycle. So due to this problem, dynamic gates which is sharing the same clock cannot be directly connected. So instead of directly connecting the dynamic gates, here the domino logic design proposes a static inverter, CMOS inverter. So we should imagine this inverter NOT gate as a CMOS inverter, so which will require a PMOS and an NMOS transistor. That static CMOS inverter is placed at the output of the particular dynamic logic block. So this is the first dynamic logic block. At the end of this, you will have a static CMOS inverter, and similarly if we cascade n number of dynamic logics like this, we can extend. Here we have shown only 2 cascades of dynamic logic. So at the end of each dynamic logic design, we will use a static CMOS inverter. This dynamic design along with the static CMOS inverter paired together, we call this as a domino logic. So I will just let you know, it is domino logic is nothing but dynamic static pair together. You call it as domino logic. With this logic, a single clock is enough to pre-charge and evaluate the cascaded dynamic gates. Now let us substitute the values for clock. Let clock be 0. So if the clock is 0, so substitute everywhere in the circuit clock 0, and we know very well that the PMOS transistor will turn on for a low input, and therefore here we have set the low input of clock equal to 0. So therefore this pre-charge transistor will be turning on. All these NMOS evaluation transistors will remain in off state. So therefore no pull down logic is enabled here, since we have involved only in the pre-charge phase. Therefore the output at this particular PMOS transistor will be pre-charged to VDD. So here you can imagine a capacitance, load capacitance here. So therefore this capacitance would have recharged to or pre-charged to this VDD, and therefore here also simultaneously when this gets recharged, here what will happen, this inverter is not going to cause any effect to this PMOS transistor. So this PMOS transistor will also turn on. So therefore here also it will be pre-charged to VDD, and therefore the inverters will produce. So this VDD is equivalent to logic 1. So therefore a logic 1 being given as an input to the inverter, the output of the inverter will become 0. So therefore here both the out 1 and out 2 will be 0, which means during pre-charge, when clock is 0, the outputs of both dynamic gates are charged up to VDD, but the outputs of the inverter remains to 0. As the output of the first inverter is connected to the second input of the next dynamic gate, so the transistors in the next stage will be turned off during pre-charge phase. So therefore here we have got this as 0. So this 0 is being given to this pull down logic. You know very well that pull down logic, they are all implemented only using NMOS transistors, and it is a very common fact that NMOS transistors will turn on only for high input, so therefore you require a logic 1 for as an input here, but here you have received only logic 0. So even though if your inputs A, B, C, whatever it may be, if they are going to remain as 1, you will wonder why is it so. In the next slide we will take the example f equal to a plus b dot c the whole bar, and we will try to implement using the domino logic design. In that slide you will come to understand why this 0 is not allowing this pull down logic to get enabled. So here comes the advantage of this domino logic design. So what was the disadvantage in dynamic gates? The second output has started to discharge. So here the second output remains to be VDD. So the output of this PMOS is going to remain VDD because it has not started to discharge, because this will discharge only when this evaluation phase is on. So that is the advantage of domino logic design. So therefore it is the greatest solution for NMOS to NMOS cascading problem in dynamic logic. Now we will set clock equal to 1 to enter into the evaluation phase. So therefore clock is equal to 1. Apply everywhere wherever you find this clock. So now what will happen? NMOS transistors only will turn on for a high input. So therefore PMOS transistor, here it already had VDD. Right, now this will be in off condition. Here also it already had VDD, so let us write that. And now this will be in off condition, and NMOS transistor will be in on condition because it has turned on for a high input, and now it enters into evaluation phase based on these inputs. So these inputs has to be 1, and until otherwise these inputs are going to remain as 1, this will not go for discharging this VDD. It will try to retain its pre-charged value VDD. So now we understand here that by setting these inputs to 1, now what will happen? This will try to, so all these are in on condition, this VDD will try to discharge, and this will be 0, output of the first inverter will be 1. Now this input will reach here for the second dynamic gate, dynamic logic, and here what will happen? Here also let us, now for this case let us assume all these inputs are 1, and here also this transistor is on, and because of all these inputs this pull down logic is also on. So now what will happen? This will again try to, this is just now waiting, this is waiting for the out 1 to reach here. It has not discharged while this transition is going on, while the first stage transition is going on, because previously it was 0, the output of the inverter was 0 here. So therefore this total, the second dynamic logic was in off condition. Now only it has turned 1, and after this 1 has reached here, this will try to discharge to 0, and the output of the second inverter will also remain to 1. So at this stage the outputs of both the inverters will remain to 1. So there is only one transition per clock cycle, and for using a single clock we are able to achieve this. A single clock is used to pre-charge and evaluate all the gates within a logic block. So this additional advantage of using the static inverter is the domino logic design. Now we will proceed with the actual problem, f equal to a plus b dot c the whole bar. So I have just drawn the implementation. It is very easy because we have retained the pre-charge transistor, evaluation transistor, pre-charge transistor, evaluation transistor. And what logic we need to implement, whatever logic that we need to implement, we need to do for the only with the PDN logic, and PDN logic uses only NMOS transistors. So here I have used the PDN logic, and we know the rule for applying, for getting the PDN logic. And what is the rule? Wherever you find this complement, you just take the complement, and therefore my f will become, fn will become a plus b dot c, and therefore if it is dot, you will have to go for series function, and if it is plus, we will go for parallel connection, and b dot c is in series and a is in parallel with b dot c. The same PDN logic is being repeated here. So it is going to be repeated for whatever cascading, for n number of cascading we are going to use the same thing. Now you look into this. In the general structure we would have missed this. So this is the actual thing that is going to prohibit the second stage dynamic to turn on. So now we will understand. Again let us substitute clock equal to 0, So clock 0, what will happen? All my PMOS pre-charged transistors will turn on. This will be in 1. The output of the inverters will be 0. So that's all. It will not enter into the evaluation phase. Now let us move for the evaluation phase. For the evaluation phase, let me set clock equal to 1. Right? Clock equal to 1. So therefore, this will be in off condition. So this pre-charged transistor will also in off condition. It will not discharge. It will discharge only after this evaluation phase is on. So now let us set the inputs for A, B and C. Now let us take the inputs A, B and C values as 101. So substituting 101, Fn we will be getting as 1. So therefore F will be complement of Fn. So that will be 0. So now what we will have to observe is, at this point we should observe whether we are getting 0, and at this point these are the outputs of the dynamic gates, because we should not calculate the outputs here. These are going to be the outputs of the inverter, and the purpose of the inverter is to make the output of the second dynamic gate to discharge after the first gate transition is complete. So that is the purpose of the inverter. Only then we can avoid the cascading problem, direct cascading of dynamic gates. Now we will substitute 101 in the circuit implemented. So everywhere. So it is going to be repetitive. So it is not necessary that we calculate for every dynamic logic. So here we can see that NMOS will turn on only for high input. So here this transistor will be in on condition. This is going to be in off and this is going to be in on condition. Since both are in series, both has to be in on. But here it is only the C transistor is on. So therefore let us neglect this part. Since they are A is in parallel with B dot C, it is enough that even if A transistor is on. So here A is on and clock is also fed with the 1. So therefore the output will be discharged. This output 1 VDD, which was pre-charged, will be discharged to 0. So it will be discharged to ground value. So now this 1 will become 0. So now we have obtained the value that we have to obtain for F equal to 0. So now we have obtained the expression, or we have implemented the given expression correct. But now what we should understand is whether we have implemented the correct cascading of dynamic gates. So for that we can see that this 0 will turn into 1 later on only. Until that, this whole dynamic gate logic, the second dynamic cascaded logic, will remain in off state. So therefore each gate in a sequence can make at most one transition, that is from 1 to 0. Hence the inverter can only make a transition from 0 to 1 when the evaluation phase is on. So until then, the second dynamic logic or the subsequent dynamic logic will wait until the first dynamic logic or the previous dynamic logic is discharging. Only then, now this one will be fed up here, and here also again this one will be discharged because it is going to have a series connection of this transistors, and this is not enabled, and because of the parallel connection we will have only this series connection, and here also this one will be discharged only after this first transition is complete, and now this one will be discharged to 0 here, and this 0 again the output of the inverter will be 1. So therefore the inverter can only make a transition from 0 to 1 when the evaluation phase is happening. So a single clock is only used to both pre-charge and evaluate all the gates within the logic block. So that is the advantage of domino logic design. Now our final objective is to compute the number of transistors required. Here, since it is a cascading stage, we have considered the number of cascading to be a two-stage cascading problem. So it is a two-stage cascading problem. So for two-stage cascading of dynamic logic gates, we require 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 transistors and one CMOS inverter. So a CMOS inverter, static CMOS implementation can be done. So that will require two transistors, one PMOS and one NMOS transistor. So therefore for the first stage we require 7 transistors, and for the subsequent stages again we require 7 transistors. So in total we require 14 transistors for a 3-input logic with 2-stage cascading problem. Hope you all have understood about the cascading problem in dynamic gates and the optimal solution which was solved using domino logic design and the implementation of f equal to a plus b dot c the whole bar. So with this we are completing the first set of Learn Before You Solve series. Meet you all with the next new set of Learn Before You Solve series and problems. Until then, stay safe, and thank you all for watching this video through Electronics Insight channel.